Not so much for the equity market, but the rupee, yes. Tanvir is right, and that is indeed the top headline at this hour on hot stocks. Below the 60 mark at 1 month highs, it's the best performer in Asia. Something to cheer about for the Indian currency watchers.
But that's not really something to cheer about for the IT pack, because you've had UBS come out on Infosys and downgrading the stock to sell from buy, cutting the target to 27.50 from 40.50. That's a big downgrade coming in. And the reason they're citing is that the turnaround is likely to take a long wait. So while the news is out and the management is working on making changes, they believe that it's going to be a long haul before you can see the changes. 31.40 on Infosys.
BPCL and on the Mozambique asset, the total reserves estimated for have been raised by 250 to 70 TCF. BPCL, of course, holds 10% in the block. The stock is up 1.25% in the session.
Pipavav posts a 72% jump in profits at 61 crores year on year. Reports 26% surge in quarter 1 sales at 144 crores, and the stock is up a mighty 9%. It's been seen traction over the last few sessions, nudging 100 on the counter.
And FMC says that no voting rights for unfit stakeholders and onus on exchange to enforce stakeholding will keep MCX and FT in focus during the trading day today. FT is up 5%, MCX in the green as well.
And while we'll get you more perspective on this, but Titan was really the price and volume breakout of the last few minutes in yesterday's session. JP Morgan on Titan maintains overweight, raises target to 310 from 300.
And of course, Lupin is the other one which is going to come out with its numbers. Expect a 22% rise in PAT and sales for the stock. It's up in the green by 1.25%.
Okay, just want to highlight the price and volume breakouts that we've seen. First, the breakdowns in the start of the session. Tata Steel and JSPL, after the kind of rebound that these metal stocks were showing earlier on. In today's session, however, we're seeing a breakdown for both those stocks. That's Tata Steel and JSPL. Price and volume breakout seen in Siemens as well as Arvind. That was as of the last 10-15 minutes. Jindal Steel and Tata Steel price and volume breakdowns, and price and volume breakouts coming in on Siemens as well as Arvind. Both of them seeing a good move on the pricing side as well. 2% up for Arvind and about close to 2% up for Siemens as well.
Well, those are the breakouts in the session today. Mind you, the broader markets are doing much better than the large caps. So the index is flat, but the CNX mid cap is up about 0.5%, and lots of individual movers flying around. The pharma space again in the buzz with JB Chemicals, Sachin Pharma and a couple of others doing very well. United Phosphorus is at a new life high at 291.75, or new 52-week high, let me put it that way, at 291.75. So UPL is a stock in focus. Okay, let's get in what dealing rooms are recommending in the session today. Darshan and Yatin join in right now to speak about what are they gathering from their sources. Good morning, both of you. Thanks for joining in. Darshan, to you first.
Neeraj, Lupin is the nifty company that will report its earnings today. Now we are hearing from dealing rooms is that the numbers will come in almost 10% beat on the bottom line. So we are anticipating close to 500 crores of PAT, but the street buzz is that the profit number could come in at almost 550 crores, and mainly it will be led by some niche drug launches that they had. Cymbalta is one of them. So Lupin is something that you have to watch out for. Apart from it, Syndicate Bank is the other counter which will report earnings today. Dealers have indicated at this point of time there's a lot of HNI accumulation happening, and dealers expect that the company will beat its estimates. And the asset quality is something that they're watching out for, and they believe the asset quality will improve in this result. And finally, UPL, as you pointed out, the counter is at a fresh 52-week high. Dealers have been indicating that over the past few days, and even today, FI accumulation is happening on the counter.
Okay, fair enough. Thanks for that, Darshan. Yatin, come to you. What is it that you are picking from your sources?
Well, Tanvir, Titan is something that dealers are watching out for. Of course, we have most of the brokerages which have up the target price for Titan. Yesterday's 5% moves already there. So dealers do believe that the next 1 or 2 quarters will be challenging for Titan. Of course, they have been shutting down certain schemes which were used to attract customers and doing well, but they have discontinued that scheme unless and until there is clarity as far as the gold import duty structure is concerned. So this is one stock wherein dealers are expecting that at higher levels there will be profit booking. Of course, the stock is almost down 6% from the 6 rupees from the day's high, but that is one stock wherein dealers are expecting a slide further from here on. Arvind Limited, of course, there is a price and volume breakout that you pointed out, but dealers are also buyers here. They are buying on the basis of F&O trends, and they're expecting that there could be a further 3 to 4% move that we could see on this denim maker. And finally, Newland Labs is something that dealers are talking about. Of course, we have the results that will be coming on Friday, which is May 9th. Dealers do believe that the results will be much above the market expectations, and the guidance for FY15 will also be encouraging. So on the back of that speculation, HNIs have been lapping up shares of Newland today.
All right. Thanks very much, Darshan Yatin, for giving us that perspective from dealers. Let's just address some global earnings. Siemens quarter two net income is higher by about 12% at 1.15 billion euros. I think the sales figure will also come up in a bit. You also have Alstom FY13 net income coming in at about close to €500 million versus an estimate of 700 million euros. So that's a bit of a disappointment on Alstom's earnings. But let's keep it with Siemens, because we saw the India listed entity also seeing a price and volume breakout. So let's go across to Sandeep as well as Prakash and get their perspective. Sandeep, come to you first on Siemens this morning.
Some more upside is what I would talk of. It has made a bottom at around 665, 666, maybe 664, and I would talk of a move towards 700, 705. So a trading upside, but I don't have a view beyond that. I think that level will face a very strong resistance. So as a trade, if one wants to take a 10, 12 rupees risk and play for a 20, 25 rupees upside, I would go for it. Nothing beyond that.
Prakash, I just want your quick perspective on Infosys, because that's a big downgrade coming in from UBS, even in terms of their price target revisions. What's the call on Infosys? It's above 3,000, but they're talking about a level sub 3,000, 2,750 for the stock.
Well, Tanvi, Infosys was at a make or break levels closer to around 3,150, and it's broken down that level. So I would say that it's actually broken down. I wouldn't be surprised if Infosys even side downs to levels closer to around 3050 or 3035 zones. It might take some time, but looks like Infosys came down, paused, and a further downward started. It's down.
Yeah, I just want to bring up Gujarat Pipavav Port and what they've done in terms of this quarter earnings. It's been a very good quarter. Their margins have been much better than estimated. Now at 63%, their EBITDA margins, and which is why you're seeing the stock go up 9%. Sure, they have a 26% jump in the top line growth, but I think more importantly, the operational performance, which has been extremely good this time around, and I think that has led to the stock doing what it is doing. I was just looking at the highlights as well. Container volumes have gone up. Typically, volumes essentially have gone up, but results above estimates on all grounds, and which is why this movement in the stock. But keep in mind, it's a stock that has moved up over the last 6 months largely on this expansion in the EBITDA margin scenario. So from 48% to 63% currently, a large portion of the move has been done. And therefore, a lot of positives are probably already in the price. It's not a cheap stock by any means now after the move today. So keep in mind, yes, good numbers, but a lot of the positives already in the price. However, never rule out a trade here. Sandeep, Gujarat Pipavav Port, not at the highest point of the day, but very active. Would you trade this one?
Not really, Neeraj. I think I would agree with the reasons that you mentioned. A lot of it seems to have been discounted in the price. So to take a trade, some trading upside, yes, but I'm not that keen. I don't see that kind of a pattern and of volumes built up. Price wise, there is some more upside, I agree, but then I would not take a trade.